Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Minecraft Java video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a custom launcher for Minecraft Java Edition. This one is called MultiMC, and MultiMC is a open source custom launcher for Minecraft Java Edition, and it's really cool. I would recommend that you guys check this one out. You can create loads of different instances in this custom launcher, and you can also install mods. You can install Modpacks, and you can also install mod loaders like Fabric and Forge in MultiMC. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about this custom launcher. I'm going to show you guys how to download and install MultiMC for Minecraft Java Edition. I'm also going to show you guys how to set everything up, how to go into the settings, how to log in, and how to get everything set up and get started in creating your instances and then playing your games with your mods and your mod packs as well. Alright, so as you guys can see, currently I do have MultiMC open on my computer screen, and this is what the interface would look like. I am actually zoomed in 150% on my desktop, so everything does look larger. So as you guys can see, I have got the different instances that I have created over here. I've also given them different icons as well to make them stand out even more. So as you guys can see, I've got a instance here for 1.89 version. I've got a 1.89 version with Forge installed as well. I've got 1.16.5 with Forge, and then obviously I've got 1.17.1, which is the current release of Minecraft Java Edition, and on that one I've got Fabric and OptiFine, and I've also got a few different mod packs here. So I've got my own created Gamer Potion mod pack installed as well. So it's really cool, it's really easy to set everything up, and I'll show you guys later on how to do that as well. So for example, I can just double click on this 1.89 Forge installation over here. It's going to basically launch the game. And another good thing is that if you guys notice, it doesn't actually launch the default Minecraft launcher. It goes straight into the game. So one of the differences between this and the CurseForge launcher is that it goes straight into the Minecraft game. And as you guys can see, I'm now able to play Minecraft version 1.89. And this is the Forge version, so I can actually install Forge mods for version 1.89, because I do know that some of you like to still play on this version of Minecraft. Let me close this down. I can also launch Fabric for version 1.17.1 with OptiFine installed as well. So I will also show you guys how to set up Fabric and also install OptiFine if that's something you guys want to do later on as well. Alright, so as you guys can see, it's now loaded the game, and I am using OptiFine for version 1.17.1. If I go into my options, video settings, we can see that this is the OptiFine video settings screen there. I can actually go inside the game, and let's just have a look at the settings, because I have actually fine-tuned the OptiFine settings to try and give me more FPS, and I've also enabled the FPS counter on the top left there, and I was getting between 800 to 1000 FPS earlier. So as you guys can see, I am getting some nice FPS with OptiFine installed and some of the tweaks which I've done, and it's literally taking me a few seconds to do that. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually install Fabric and get OptiFine installed as well. I'm also going to show you guys how to install a mod pack. So this is the Gamer Potion mod pack which I've created and submitted to the CurseForge website. So let's double click on this, and this is going to open up the game with the Gamer Potion mod pack installed. So let's just wait for this to now load up. Alright, so as you guys can see, it's now loaded the game, and this is the Gamer Potion mod pack. And as you guys can see, it looks slightly different, so I have actually put a few different mods into this one, and I've put a couple of resource packs as well, so you can get that nice different feeling for the Minecraft Java Edition. We can obviously change a few things in the settings as well. If I click on the settings here, I really do like the settings menu for this launcher. It's really straightforward. It really makes sense as well. We've got all of the menus on the left here, and if we click into them, we've got the sub menus as well. If I click on user interface, I can change the icons and the colors and everything. So I'm going to show you guys later on how to configure the user interface, and also how to configure the different types of Java we are going to be using with some of these installations, because for version 1.16.5 and lower, we do need to use a different version of Java to actually load the game. So I'm now going to show you guys how to download and install MultiMC and then get everything set up. Alright, so downloading and installing MultiMC has to be one of the easiest things I've ever done for any type of Minecraft launcher. Literally, it takes a few seconds to get this installed. I really do like the install process for MultiMC. It's really straightforward, and all we need to do now is open up our internet browser. In the search bar, just type in MultiMC. That's all one word, MultiMC. Go to the first link that comes up, so it should be the main website for MultiMC, which is multimc.org. Click on that link, and then we're going to go to the download and install section. Now, in the download and install section for MultiMC, you've got two options. You can either get the stable version, as it says over here. You can also scroll down and get the development version as well. It's going to have a few different extra features as well, but as it says here, it may not be stable yet. So I'm going to get the default stable version for now, and we can actually change into the development version later on as well if we wanted to do that from the actual program. So let's go ahead and click on this download link. I'm now going to save as and save it to my desktop, and that's going to basically download the file. It says it's 13.3 megabytes, and let's wait for that to finish. All right, so now we can go back to my desktop, and we do need a program to open up zip files. Now I'm using WinRAR, so some of you can use WinRAR if you wanted to do that, or you can use WinZip or any type of application that is able to open up a zip archive. And to install the MultiMC launcher is so simple. Just open up the actual zip file, and you'll notice that there is a folder here that says MultiMC, and all I'm going to now do is just drag this to my desktop like so, and that's it. MultiMC has now been installed, and I can now put this folder anywhere I want to. I can place it in the root folder of my C drive, I can put it in my documents folder, I can even put it on a USB drive as well. So it's really cool. I think this is one of the best ways to do a custom launcher. You've got so much flexibility. I can now get rid of the zip file as well. So now we can actually go inside the MultiMC folder, and inside the folder there should be a multimc.exe file. So we need to open this file up, and this is the main MultiMC file. So now we actually need to set everything up. So the first thing it's going to ask you is to set your language. So let's go ahead and actually choose our language here. Let's look for English. We do have English here. So let's select American English for now. Let's click on Next. And it's going to ask us to actually set our Java part. So as you guys can see, by default, it's already selected 17.0.1, which at the moment is the stable version of the Java for our game. If you guys are using the default Minecraft launcher, you would have noticed that it actually uses 16.0.1. And for some of the other installations, we are going to use previous versions of Java, and I'm going to talk about that a bit later on. Okay, so we can actually go ahead and allocate some memory. So by default, it's selected 1 gigabyte. So let's change that to 2 gigabytes over here like so. And I'm going to click on Next, and it's going to say if you want to enable some statistics and analytics. I'm actually going to disable that for now. You guys can keep that ticked if you want to send some anonymous statistics as well about your usage of MultiMC. I'm going to click on Finish, and as you guys can see, it's now created the setup for us, and now I can actually go on and start using MultiMC as normal. The next thing you're going to want to do is to actually log in with your user ID. So this is going to be either your Microsoft ID or your Mojang username and password. So on the top right here, you will see it says Profile. So click on that, and then click on Manage Accounts. And on this bit, we are able to now add a Microsoft account or add a Mojang account into MultiMC. In the past, we were not able to log into MultiMC with our Microsoft account, and recently they have enabled it, so we are able to use our Microsoft account with MultiMC. So those of you who have been wondering, how do I log into MultiMC with my Microsoft account, then thankfully, we can do that now. I'm going to click on Add Microsoft, and as you guys can see, it says, please open up, and it gives me this link, and it says, put the code to proceed with the login. I'm going to click on this link, and I'm going to actually put that code which it was giving me. So let me go ahead and do that now. All right, so I've put that code in there. I'm going to click on Next. It's going to ask me to log in using my user ID and password. So use the one that you have purchased Minecraft with. I'm now going to put my password in there as well, and then click on Sign In. It's going to then ask you to allow the app to access your info. And basically, MultiMC is going to check if your email address does actually own the version of Minecraft. So if you've purchased Minecraft or you've migrated from your Mojang into your Microsoft account. So this is only useful for people who have migrated or are using a Microsoft account. I'm going to click on Yes, and we should see a message that says, all done. You're now signed into MultiMC. You can safely close this window. So I'm going to close this window, and as you can see, it's logging me in. And as you guys can MultiMC now has my account details here, and everything should be working. I'm going to click on close. And it's got my skin here that I had selected earlier on the default launcher, and it is showing it on the top right here. At this point, we can actually go into manage accounts, click into our account there, and I can actually go ahead and change my skin. So let me quickly do that as well. Let me open up my internet browser, and let's go to minecraftskins.com, and let's just quickly download the skin and upload it so we can actually see if the skins do work. If any of you who have ever had problems with your skins loading up, you can try this method to see if it actually pushes the skin into your game. So let's try and find a skin that looks somewhat cool. Let's get this one, which is called Freefall. Looks quite unique there. I'm going to click on download and download that to my desktop as well. Alright, there we go. So it is now downloading. I can close this down, and now I can click on upload skin, and now I can select that skin which I just downloaded. Let's click on desktop and select that PNG file, click on OK, and then click on OK again. And it should give you a success message over here. Click on OK, and that should change your skin as well. Alright, so we're now going to go into settings and change the user interface. So click on MultiMC, click on user interface. So at the moment for the icons, it is showing as default. The one I like to use is simple blue icons. And for the color scheme, I like to do the dark color scheme. So it's easy on the eyes and it looks quite cool. So click on close, and that should change your user interface as well. We can then go back into settings, click on Java, we can change a few settings in here, and we can actually go ahead and increase the memory allocation for Java. So at the moment, as you guys remember, I selected 2 GB. Let's go ahead and change that to 4 gigs as well. There we go. So I've now made the maximum memory allocation to 4 gigs. We can now also change the type of Java that we are using. I am going to leave a link in the description to my blog where I have actually talked about this on how to change your different versions of Java and the best version of Java to use for different versions of Minecraft. So where it says Java pod, I'm going to click on this 3 dots here. I'm actually going to go into my C drive, click on program files. I'm going to click on this one which says Eclipse Adoptium, and then I'm actually going to select the 17.01 version of that, and then scroll down. I'm going to look for the Java w.exe file and click on open. So there we go. I've now selected the other version of Java, so hopefully all of the installations should use that by default. You can obviously go ahead and change a few settings in the settings menu depending on what you guys like to do as well. So let's close this down. If you guys do want to use the development version of MultiMC as well, you can do that at any stage. So go to settings, making sure you've selected MultiMC on the left hand side here. You can see it says update settings and it says current stable release. So we can actually update and change this to development like so. And then I'm going to now close this down. I'm going to click on update. And as you guys can see, it's telling me that there is a new version available. I'm going to click on update now, and it's going to download the updates as well. It's going to relaunch MultiMC. So as you guys can see now on the top left here, it does say it's the development version. And I can click on update just to make sure I have got the latest release. So as you guys can see, it says you are running the latest version. So now hopefully everything should be set up now. I can now click on add instance. So let's go ahead and first of all add a basic Minecraft instance to the MultiMC launcher. So making sure 1.17.1 is selected. And at this point, you can also click on snapshots, betas, alphas, experiments, and download and check out the latest snapshot as well. So it's really cool. So you can actually do it all in one place. Let's go ahead and select the 1.17.1 version for now. And as you guys can see, I've now got a working version of 1.17.1. I can right click on this and I can then go to edit instance. And now I can actually add Fabric, because at the moment we can't unfortunately add Forge to version 1.17.1, but we can add Fabric. Forge is currently in the beta. MultiMC hasn't gotten round to adding Forge to the installations. So if you guys do want to use Forge for any instance, you would have to use the version 1.16.5 or lower. So let's go ahead and click on Install Fabric, and let's go ahead and select the default version there, 0.11.7, and then click on Close. Okay, so now we have a Fabric there. Let's rename this to 1.17.1 Fabric, and I'm also going to put OptiFine on here. So let me actually rename this to Fabric and OptiFine, like so. Let's go back into our internet browser. So one of the disadvantages of using MultiMC, or some of you might actually like this method, but for me, I prefer one-click installs. For MultiMC, we do have to download the mod files individually, and then we have to install them using the interface. So let me show you what I mean. Let's go to the CurseForge website. So go to curseforge.com, click on Minecraft, and then click on mods, and click on the search bar here, and just search for OptiFabric. We're going to download the OptiFabric mod for Fabric and use OptiFine with this. So let's click on download over here, and let's wait for the download to now start. While that is happening, let's go to the main OptiFine website. So go to optifine.net like I'm doing now, and then click on downloads. Let me just save this to my desktop there. There we go. Let's keep that file, and now we can click on downloads, and I'm going to download this version of OptiFine because this is the version that works well with OptiFabric. So if you guys are wanting to use OptiFabric and OptiFine, do make sure that you are using OptiFine HD UG9. I'm going to click on mirror. That is the faster link for me. I'm going to click on download, and I'm going to save that to my desktop as well. Let's wait for that to finish. There we go. And now we can actually close all of these down. Alright, so as you guys can see, I've got two different jar files here. And one of them is OptiFabric, and the other one is the OptiFine HDUG9 file, which it just finished downloading. I do like these icons as well. I think they're really cool. They are different to the default Java icons. Okay, so now I can right-click on the instance here, click on Edit Instance. I can then click on Install Mods, and I can click on Add, and basically I can navigate to my desktop, and I can choose the OptiFabric mod, and also I can choose the OptiFine mod like so. So now I've got OptiFabric and OptiFine showing there, and I can click on close. I can now also right click on this, and I can change the icon like I did show you guys earlier. So let's go ahead and change the icon and select this box. Let's make that a bit smaller because I am at 150% zoomed in here. And let's go ahead and select that fox again, and let's click on OK, and that should change the icon for Fabric and OptiFine. I can now double click on this, and it should basically launch the game straight away, and we can have a look at how OptiFine and Fabric run together, and we can do the tweaks as well and get some nice FPS. One thing to note is that when you do run the game for the very first time, it will say getting the assets files from Mojang, and basically it's downloading all of the Minecraft data. So this stage might take a while, but don't worry, this is only going to be for the very first time that you do run Minecraft, and it will work fine later on. It will just be a snappy start once you start adding the different instances. This is only going to be for the very first time that you do launch the game. Alright, so once it finishes downloading all of the asset files from Mojang and their servers, then hopefully that should launch the game, and we should be able to see the game with OptiFine and Fabric. And as you guys can see, it's now opened the game, and at the bottom here it says OptiFine for version 1.17.1, and it also says Fabric, and then I can go into my options and use the shaders and configure the settings here to try and get more FPS as well. So let's close this down now, and now we can actually add another instance. So I'm going to add the version 1.89 like I mentioned earlier, and let's go ahead and click on OK. So this is going to load the version 1.89. I'm now going to actually install Forge onto this version. So let me just rename this to 1.89 and then call this Forge, so I know what I've got there. I'm also going to change the icon as well. So let me just change that to this icon just so I can differentiate from the other one. And now I can right click on this and click on Edit Instance, and I can now click on Install Forge. So as you guys can see, for version 1.17.1 this was grayed out, but luckily now for this version I can actually install Forge, but obviously Fabric was not around back then, so we can't install Fabric. So I can now click on Install Forge and click on OK, select the default version with the star against it, and now I can click on Close. So that should basically install Forge for 1.89. Now, another thing we do need to make sure is that we are selecting a previous version of Java. So I'm going to right click on this, go to Edit Instance. Now I'm going to click on Settings, and as you guys can see, it's got the Java option here. I'm going to click on Java Installation. I'm now going to browse and navigate to the Program Files folder, and then select again Eclipse Adoptium, and I'm now going to go for this version of the JDK, which is 8.0.312.7, and I will leave a link in the description which explains how to get all of these installed if that's what you guys want to do. So go to the bin folder, look for Java W like so, and then click on open and click on close. I can now double click on the 1.89 Forge version and it should load up Minecraft with version 1.89 and Forge installed. So let's go ahead and see what happens now. As you guys can see, it's now loaded the game for version 1.89 and it is doing some configuration for Forge. And if we just maximize that, it's Minecraft version 1.8.9 and we do have Forge as well installed for this, and we can use different mods. So this is quite an older version of Minecraft, obviously, but I do know that some of you like to use this version. So that's why I have decided to show how to get this set up and running as well. Okay, now we can move on to how to install Modpacks, which is another exciting thing we can do with custom launchers, and that's what they are also known for installing Modpacks as well. So we can actually go into add instance here, and now on the left hand side you will notice it's got different options. So we have vanilla, this is the vanilla game. You can click on import from zip, so you can actually download a Modpack zip file and browse to that zip file and then install it that way. We can also select the other options here, so you can select AT launcher and the Modpacks that it comes with as well. Obviously, we can go ahead and select CurseForge, FTB, FTB Legacy, and the Technic one as well. So we do have loads of different options here. I think that's really fantastic that we can go ahead and download all of these different Modpacks. And I think this is going to keep you guys so busy by trying out all of these really cool different Modpacks. So let's go ahead and search for a Modpack which I created and submitted to CurseForge as well. So in the search bar, I'm going to type in Gamer Potion, which is the channel name, and I did create a mod pack, which is a cool mod pack. I would also recommend you guys check this one out. This is called DarkRPG, and as you guys can see, it says a RPG inspired and performance based mod pack. Another cool thing with MultiMC is that it actually allows me to select what version of the mod pack I want to download. So as you guys can see, it's selected the latest version, which is 1.4, but I can obviously go ahead and select different versions. So other custom launchers don't do this, but MultiMC does allow us to do this. So I'm going to click on OK, and it's going to download the mod pack, and it's going to start downloading all of the mods and set everything up. So I'm going to give it some time to actually download all the mods and set everything up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so as you guys can see, it has finished downloading and installing a DarkRPG, which is the RPG-based mod pack that I mentioned earlier. You may get this message that says this folder may need extracting, and it's talking about the dungeons map. So just right-click on the DarkRPG icon there, and then go to where it says Minecraft folder, and inside this, if you click on Saves, and you'll notice it does say dungeons over here. So just open that up and actually highlight all of the files here and extract them straight into the saves folder like so. It may take some time, it is a big file, so just wait for that to finish, and there we go, we've now done it, and we can now play the dungeons map. And now we can actually double click on the DarkRPG icon here, and that should load up the game. So let's just wait for that to now load up. You will notice that I actually put a custom background on this. So if you guys haven't already checked it out, do check out the DarkRPG mod pack. It's a really cool and fun mod pack. I have tried to put loads of different RPG based mods on here to give you guys a nice RPG type experience. It also comes with a nice shader pack as well. It comes with prismarine shaders, which also gives it a nice touch, and you can play as a vampire in this as well for those of you who do enjoy that stuff. Let's go ahead and maximize that. Let's click on don't show these again for these updates, and as you guys can see, we have the DarkRPG set up here. I can now click on single player, and now we can actually enter the dungeons map that I mentioned earlier. So let's wait for that to now load us into the cool dungeons map. Alright, so as you guys can see, I'm now playing using the dungeons map in the DarkRPG, and this is really cool. You can actually go ahead and check out the tutorial, and it's really cool. It does have its own music as well, and it also has bosses and mobs that you have to take down, which is really cool. I do like this map. If you guys haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend that you guys check out this map as well. It's called Dungeons, and it's free on the CurseForge website. So let's quickly just take out all of these guys and progress onto the next room. I think there is a boss in this level as well. There we go. Yeah, we can actually go ahead and take down this boss as well. So let's do that now quickly. This is the Lost Explorer boss, as you guys can see. You can also create a single player world here. So let's go ahead and select create new world, and we can actually create a different world using different classes and different options here. So I'm going to click on create new world, and it's going to give me an option to pick my own race and class in this, similar to how we would do it in an RPG. As you guys can see, it now says choose your origin. This is part of the origins mod, and I can actually go ahead and choose and play as different origins over here. I can also play as a vampire as well, which is really cool. I can go around sucking blood from all of the different mobs as well. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's go ahead and choose our class as well. Let's go ahead and choose a rogue class. So we're going to be a vampire and a rogue class as well. Let's go and change the shader packs as well. Let's enable the prismarine shaders to make it look a bit more prettier. There we go. Alright, so as you guys can see, I'm now using the prismarine shaders, and everything looks really nice. To actually siphon blood from these mobs, I can just click on the shift key on my keyboard. I can press that down and then press the right key button, and it should basically siphon the blood, and that's how I'm going to regain my blood. So you guys can see I've got the blood meter at the bottom there, which I can refill by sucking the blood out of the different mobs. And it's really cool to play as a vampire. We are in the night time. Obviously, we can't survive in the daytime. And we do have this cool looking structure. This is another mod that I have installed on here. This is called the Awesome Dungeon mod as well, which I've added in this mod pack. So as you guys can see, we do have some nice structures here that gives us that nice RPG experience as well. Alright, so this is how to download and install mod packs into the MultiMC interface using the add instance option. And I'm now going to show you how to actually manually add a mod pack. So if a mod pack is not working using this way, if you click on add instance and select one of these options, you can do it manually as well. So open up your internet browser. I'm going to go to the CurseForge website again. I'm going to download another mod pack as well. And by default, it should already select mod packs here. I'm going to search for Gamer Potion over here. Go into my username here. I'm going to download the Redfish mod pack, which is actually a Forge and Sodium combination, and it has 170 plus mods. It does give you some nice performance. So I'm going to click on the files bit here, click into the file zip name there, which is going to generate a download link. I'm going to click on download, and I'm going to wait for that to finish downloading. I'm going to save that to my desktop now. Let's wait for that to actually give us the option to save as. I'm going to select the desktop there, and that should basically be it. Alright, so as you guys can see, I've now got the Redfish zip file on my desktop there. I can now click on import from zip, click on browse, navigate to my desktop and select this zip file, click on open, click on OK, and it should basically start downloading and installing all of the mods. So let's wait for that to now finish, and I'll be right back. Alright, so as you guys can see, it has finished in downloading and installing the Redfish mod pack. I can right click and change the icon. It won't give you a icon, so you can actually define your own icons for the custom mod packs that you are importing manually. Let's select the B for this one. If I right click and go into edit instance, I can also select my worlds here, and I can back them up if I wanted to do that. If you do create multiple worlds on here, you can actually back them up from here, or you can right click. Let me just show you how to do that. If I just right click on the DarkRPG icon, select the Minecraft folder, I can actually go into my saves folder here and just highlight everything and copy it and back it up that way as well. So you've got two different options if you did want to back up your saves in the MultiMC launcher. Let's go ahead and launch the Redfish mod pack and see how that one looks. Alright, so after it's downloaded all of the assets and files, it should load up the game, and because this is a Forge based mod pack, it is going to actually download all of the Forge based options there, and as you can see, it's doing all the configuration for Forge there. So let's wait for that to now load up. It has actually put me in full screen mode because that is the option I had ticked earlier when I did compile the mod pack, which is fine. And now we can actually go inside the game and create a new game. So as you guys can see, what we've done is basically download the mod pack manually and import it into the MultiMC custom launcher. So if you guys are looking on how to import custom mod packs into the MultiMC launcher, this is how to do it. And as you guys can see, if we go to mods, we do have loads of different Forge mods here, and we have sodium, so we should get some nice performance in this. Let me just click on create new world so we can actually go inside the world and see what that looks like. Alright, so as you guys can see, it now says adjoining world, and we have actually launched into a village here that is surrounded by snow. So this is quite a cool place that we have actually spawned in, I would say. I have put some nice Forge-based mods in this, and as you guys can see, the user interface is also different. If you guys noticed that I did actually load that skin when I was first talking about setting up the MultiMC, so you guys can see that it has actually put my skin into the game, and the skin loading function works fairly well as well. So we can actually go ahead and close this down, and we can go back into our MultiMC launcher. So we do know that custom mod packs that we do import manually do load up as well. So this is how to actually play using different instances, mods and mod packs in MultiMC. And you can also, as I mentioned earlier, configure so many different things in the settings menu as well. One final note to see is that we can click on this cat icon over here, and it does load up this cool looking cat in the background. If you guys want to do that, this is a cool little Easter egg. Hopefully you guys have found this video useful, and hopefully you guys will check out MultiMC and you will be able to play your different instances and your mods and mod packs using the MultiMC custom launcher for Minecraft Java Edition. If you did like the video, please do give us a like, and also please do subscribe to this channel to help support it, help it grow, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.